Welcome to North Carolina, where yesterday, August 15th, a black man is found hanging from a tree here in the middle of Raleigh, in the middle of the day. Yesterday was the Caribe Mass Caribbean Festival in downtown Raleigh that brought out thousands of people to celebrate Black love and joy and unity. And right outside of that, on McDowell Street, there was a black man hanging from a tree. It was originally reported by the North Carolina Beat via Facebook. When I first saw it, I thought, there's no way. There's no way. Because if this were true, Mayor Cowell, Raleigh's mayor, would have had an immediate press release out. And the Raleigh PD would have responded immediately via a press release. There's no way that you have a black man hanging from a tree in 2026 in the middle of Raleigh and you do not comment on it. Hours later, Raleigh PD comes out with an official statement basically saying at 2:35 yesterday, they did go to McDowell Street to find this individual. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and it is being ruled as a suicide, and it's now within the investigation of the medical examiner. Given that this is the second time this has happened in North Carolina this summer, this is a case that should be investigated to its full extent as a hate crime within a civil suit. In May of 2026, Juliana Nazita was found hanging from a tree in Charlotte, North Carolina, that was also ruled a suicide. Listen, twice this summer in North Carolina, the same North Carolina that's headquarters to the KKK, are we kidding? And what I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around is that we're almost 24 hours out from this initial report. I have not seen any official statements from our elected officials at the local, state, or federal level. I have not seen barely any news covering this about what's going on. And that is disgusting. I don't know who's at fault here. I don't know if that's Raleigh PD not communicating with elected officials. All I know is that if there is someone hanging from a goddamn tree in the middle of Raleigh, North Carolina, statements should be out. Because people are now panicking and we don't know what to do, and we're looking for guidance from our elected officials who are currently remaining silent. Because if you look like me, there's always this conversation of, during the civil rights movement, if we were there, we would have stopped it. Babe, it's right now and your ass is showing. Because there was literally a man found hanging in the middle of downtown Raleigh and you're too afraid to put out a statement. Come on. You're thinking, what do I do about it? Email them at every level of government here in North Carolina and say, hey, what are we doing about this? What are we doing? And what are your colleagues doing about it at the local, state, and federal level? Because the family of this individual deserves justice, the same way that Juliana Nazita deserves justice, the same way that the public deserves to know what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday, and why was a black man found hanging in a tree in the middle of broad daylight here in Raleigh, North Carolina?